Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico is in serious but stable condition after he was shot 5 times in an assassination attempt. The Slovakian defense minister said that Fico had been in surgery for 3.5 hours. The attack took place after an off-site government meeting in the central Slovak town of Handlova. Local media reported that the suspected gunman was among a small crowd of people waiting to greet the Prime Minister on the street outside the cultural center where the meeting took place. Slovakian police have charged a man described as a politically motivated lone wolf with the attempted murder of the Prime Minister. Footage from the scene shows the injured Prime Minister being bundled into a vehicle by his staff before it speeds away with him inside. According to officials, no one else was injured in the attack. On Wednesday, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump agreed to hold 2 campaign debates. The first will be on June 27th and will be hosted by CNN, and the second on September 10th hosted by ABC. The quick agreement on the timetable followed President Biden's announcement that he will not participate in fall presidential debates sponsored by the nonpartisan commission that has organized them for 3 decades. Biden's campaign instead proposed that media outlets organize the debates. Trump, in a post on his Truth Social site, said he was ready and willing to debate Biden. The U.S. saw a slight decline in the number of overdose deaths last year, marking a rare improvement according to preliminary federal data. There were about 107,500 overdose deaths in 2023, down 3% from the year before and the first decline in 5 years according to estimates from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. One factor was fewer deaths attributed to fentanyl. The U.S. has struggled to stop a relentless increase in drug overdose deaths, making 2023 a rare year. The last 2 declines came in 2018 and 1990, a year when there were just 8,400 overdose deaths nationwide. Even as numbers trend lower, the U.S. recorded more than 100,000 overdose deaths for the 3rd year in a row. Last year's tally is roughly double the entire overdose fatality count from as recently as 2015. Comcast plans to launch a streaming bundle later this month that will include Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV+. The streaming bundle was announced on Tuesday by Comcast Chairman and CEO Brian Roberts at Moffett-Nathanson's annual Media, Internet, and Communications Conference. Reportedly called Stream Saver, the bundle will be discounted but only available to subscribers of Comcast TV or Internet service. It's not entirely clear how much the new bundle will cost, but the cheapest way to get all 3 streamers at the moment costs users $23. The announcement comes on the heels of Disney, Warner Brothers, and Discovery announcing a new streaming bundle that will combine Max, Disney+, and Hulu. That bundle is scheduled to launch at some point this summer, though pricing for that package has not been announced. All eyes were on the sky last weekend. A rare and unusually strong solar flare activity caused the northern lights to be visible over much of the United States, including Massachusetts and other parts of New England. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration noted that the aurora was hard to predict, so while many thought the light's dazzling display would only be visible one night, there was a show the whole weekend and early into the week. The northern lights being visible in Massachusetts is a result of geomagnetic storms prompted by eruptions on the solar surface or areas on the sun's surface that experience strong magnetic activity. Those storms can create disturbances to Earth's magnetic fields while creating the famous purple-green hues in the night sky. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Meet James. He was surprised to find out that he has elevated blood pressure, which could turn into high blood pressure. So he talked with his doctor about a healthy path to get his numbers down. He quit smoking, which makes a big difference for his overall heart health. He also cut down on salt by watching out for high sodium on food labels and added a 30-minute walk 5 days a week to his routine. These healthy steps weren't easy, but lowering his blood pressure was worth it. Learn more about his healthy path.
Welcome back. On Monday, former Braintree head coach and staple of the South Shore high school sports community, Don Fredericks, passed away at the age of 79. Of course, the pain of Fredericks' death is felt most acutely in Braintree, where he coached the Womps from 1972 to 1992, crafting a 337-98 record with 11 Bay State Conference crowns, 4 Eastern Massachusetts championships, and 3 state titles. He was inducted into the Massachusetts Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 1995. Current Womps coach Bill O'Connell said Fredericks kept in close contact with the Braintree program even after his coaching days were over, and he transitioned into a long second career as both a game official for multiple sports, including baseball, and an MIAA baseball tournament organizer. Fredericks is survived by his wife of 54 years, Donna, their 4 children, Kirk, Keith, Kyle, and Carrie, and 10 grandchildren. During Tuesday and Wednesday night's Ways and Means budget hearing, the Braintree Firefighters Union stood out in support of the Prop 2.5 override. The override was proposed due to the budget deficit that has departments town-wide facing cuts. Although the override will not totally restore proposed cuts to the Braintree Fire Department, Local 920 members showed up at the town hall in support with signs and red shirts that read, "Help us protect you." On Wednesday, the committee further discussed the firefighters' budget. Here's more from District 3 Town Councilor Elizabeth Maglio on the department's overtime.
One of the things that we have recently learned about is the overtime that was charged, the overtime that we paid for the detail at Clean Harbors. And I want to just revisit that very briefly to talk about the fact that at the time that the detail was put in place was after a pretty significant fire event at a chemical plant wedged between gas tanks and tankers and bridges and people and yards and children and, you know, around the corner elementary schools, et cetera. So this was a major issue that happened in the community. And the heat, maybe not a good word, the backlash that Clean Harbors got for that was pretty significant, and I was certainly out there leading that charge because I want to be safe. I want everyone to be safe in my community. And there were a number of requirements that were placed on Clean Harbors that they had to fulfill. It took a while. They resumed partial operations and then full operations. And at that time of resuming full operations, it meant that DEP, the state authority that regulates them, had signed off on everything. I don't think DEP really does the best job protecting all of us. I don't think that they should have even allowed that in, but they did. And there were regulations, and Clean Harbors, hunkered down and figured out how to meet all those regulations, and even to go a bit above in order to avoid anything like that from ever happening again. Okay, so that's the history of it. So one of the things that we were told, that I was told, is that the detail at Clean Harbors was their request. And so that has been something that, to their credit, was taking place, that they were paying for this detail to be there. So imagine my surprise when I learned that, in fact, they were not paying for that detail. In fact, they had requested no more detail because they had met all the requirements that they needed to meet. And yet, we're still sending 2 firefighters and an engine to Clean Harbors every day. I don't know what they do on these details. I know that the times that I've kind of popped in and I go in and we take pictures and we kind of look around, it just seemed to be just a typical detail that there's a big fire truck there and there's 2 people in it and they're there in case something happens, as this extra layer of protection. The problem is that there is no, to my knowledge, because I've asked for these records, there's no statute that was stated. There's no real paper trail from the town to Clean Harbors. The only paper trail is Clean Harbors saying, we've met all the requirements, we've done all these things, we no longer request a detail. And yet, we kept sending it, and it's to the tune now that we have to pay of the number today is $500,000. And my question is, how does that happen in a municipality with layers of checks and balances? That letter was sent to the mayor's office and to our solicitor at the time. Who is checking to make sure that the invoices that are being sent every week are getting paid? And at what point does somebody stop and say, they've refused this, they're not paying our invoices, legally they're not required to have us, but we're still going to spend $500,000 on overtime to make it look like we're doing something that we're imposing something on Clean Harbors.
As mentioned, the Town of Braintree's Ways and Means Committee officially started their budget hearing process on Monday, May 6th. The committee will go department by department until they approve a final budget that will get approved by the Town Council at the end of the month. You can watch the meetings live or catch up on old ones on BCAM TV's Government Channel, Comcast Channel 8, and Verizon Channel 26, or on youtube.com/BCAMTV. 2 local organizations are teaming up to host an event that celebrates Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. The Braintree Historical Society, along with the Chinese American Association of Braintree, have partnered up to put on an event that honors AAPI Heritage Month through Thayer House guided tours, Sunrise Balloon Arts, Braintree Fan Factory history lessons, tea tastings, games, and arts and crafts. The event is open to all and will be taking place between 2 to 4 p.m. at the Braintree Historical Society. For more information, visit braintree-historical.org or visit caab-ma.org. The American Red Cross is visiting Braintree this weekend for their initiative Sound the Alarm, Save a Life. The initiative, spearheaded by District 5 Town Councilor Meredith Barrica, aims to install more working smoke alarms in local homes. According to the Red Cross, working smoke detectors can cut the risk of death from home fires in half. So on May 18th, volunteers from the Red Cross and Braintree Fire Department are partnering up to install new smoke detectors in Braintree homes between 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Appointments are still available, and you can head to soundthealarm.org/MA to book it now. Here's more about the event from Councilor Barrica.
Thank you very much, Vice President Ringus. As many of you may remember, at the end of last year, sadly and tragically, there was a fatal fire on my street. And so in response to that, I want to say thank you so much to the Braintree Fire Department, Mayor Joyce, and to the American Red Cross, who will be donating to any Braintree resident who needs them smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, for free installation, and this is part of the American Red Cross Sound the Alarm campaign to prevent unnecessary deaths from having non-working or no smoke detectors in people's homes. So I urge all residents, please, I'm going to give the number out. It's 1-800-564-1234. And that is to you will leave a message for the American Red Cross. They will get back to you within the next week to arrange a smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector free installation at your house. The installation day will be Saturday, May 18th between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. So once again, that number is 1-800-564 1234. Please take advantage of this. We don't need any more unnecessary deaths from not having smoke detectors. So thank you.
Thank you.
Braintree residents can now be a part of beautifying the town more regularly. The Blue Bag Campaign is an initiative announced by the town where residents can pick up a blue bag and collect trash anywhere in town. Residents can now help beautify the town while on a walk, when you're out with friends, or while hanging out at the neighborhood park. When the bag is full, just leave it securely tied near the curb and alert the mayor's office where you left it. Once you call, the DPW will swing by and pick it up. For more information, head to braintreema.gov. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. If your Hogwarts letter got lost in the mail, this might be for you. This fall, Harry Potter the Exhibition is coming to Boston according to the exhibit's website. The exhibit is a touring experience that delights fans worldwide with authentic film props, exclusive behind-the-scenes looks, and fun interactive surprises. Visitors can plan to see recreations of places from the famous franchise like the cupboard under the stairs, Hagrid's hut, and more. Tickets are now on sale and can be bought at eventim.com/artist/Harry Potter the Exhibition Boston. Earlier this month, about 1,100 Quincy middle schoolers filled the bleachers at Veterans Memorial Stadium. On one end of the playing field, a half-dozen large inflatable obstacle courses beckon with the promise of something more fun and physical than typical classroom exercises. The carnival, sponsored by Quincy-based Arabella Insurance and the Boston Celtics, marked the culmination of a year-long program incentivizing strong attendance. The students, representing all 5 of Quincy's middle schools, hadn't missed a day between November to April. To reward the students, they could play field games, take cheerleading lessons from Celtics dancers, or just have fun with the Celtics mascot and stuntman Lucky the Leprechaun. When talking about the event, Quincy Schools Assistant Superintendent Aaron Perkins said, quote, "With chronic absenteeism where it is, programs like this are huge. If students don't attend, they can't learn. We're fortunate to have partners like the Celtics and Arabella that make these things possible for us," end quote. Weymouth School Superintendent Robert Wargo is leaving the district at the end of the school year to take on a new opportunity. Wargo will be heading to Barrington, Rhode Island to take on the superintendent role for their school district. The Weymouth superintendent announced his departure in an email to the district on Tuesday afternoon, saying his last day will be on or around June 30th. In his letter, Wargo wrote, quote, "I have been continually inspired by the dedication and passion of our educators, staff, students, families, and community members. The hallmark of the district is the creative, compassionate students that attend our schools," end quote. The Weymouth School Committee is now looking into the next steps for filing the superintendent position on both a short-term and long-term basis. With 80 residents displaced in Randolph by a devastating fire at the Bridle Path Apartments, the town is now accepting donations. At this time, gift cards and online money donations are the only ways to donate to the families affected by the fire. Food, clothing, and essentials are being coordinated through service agencies. Gift cards can be to local grocery stores, restaurants, pharmacies, clothing stores, and Visa cards. Cards can be dropped off at Randolph Town Hall, located at 41 South Main Street, the RICC, located at 128 Pleasant Street, or at the library, located at 2 North Main Street. To donate online, head to gofundme.com/F/Randolph Fire Recovery. The MBTA commuter rail and Keolis have announced a special event train service this summer for the full lineup of concerts taking place at Gillette Stadium. This service is being provided as a convenience to concert goers to avoid traffic jams by taking the train instead. Trains will depart from Boston South Station with stops at Back Bay and Dedham Corporate Center. There will also be stops from Providence Station through Pawtucket, Central Falls, Attleboro, and Mansfield. Special event train tickets will be available for purchase at 11 a.m. approximately 2 weeks before each show exclusively on the M-Ticket app. The complete train schedule for the shows will be announced closer to each show date and can be found by visiting the MBTA website. Each special event train is scheduled to arrive in Foxborough approximately 1 hour before the start of each concert and depart 30 minutes after each concert ends. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Do you know that electrical failures are the third leading cause of home fires? Cords and plugs led in this category, while extension cords dominated this category. To avoid these fires, plug heat-generated appliances directly into an outlet. Do not use power strips or extension cords on these appliances. Power strips are designed for use with electronics only. Do not put electrical cords underneath rugs or pinch behind furniture. Do not overload outlets. Charge laptops and phones on hard surfaces only. Finally, if an electrical device is not working as designed, it is time to repair it or replace it. Be conscious of your home environment and be safe, and thank you for doing so.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Today in entertainment, we have some movie and television recommendations for you to watch. First, Lola follows Lola James, who works to save enough money to get her little brother Arlo out of their toxic home. Arlo keeps her hopeful until one tragic night when her whole world gets uprooted. From that moment on, nothing will ever be the same. The film is directed by and stars Nicola Beckham, and you can watch Lola now on Netflix. Next, Under the Bridge is a true crime miniseries that follows 14-year-old Rena Verk, who went to join friends at a party and never returned home. 7 teenage girls and a boy were accused of the savage murder. The series stars Chloe Guidry and Riley Cuff. You can watch Under the Bridge now on Hulu. And finally, The Tattooist of Auschwitz is based on a novel and tells the real-life story of Lali Sokolov, a Jewish prisoner who was tasked with tattooing ID numbers on prisoners' arms in the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp during World War II. The series stars Jonah Harking, and you can watch The Tattooist of Auschwitz now on Peacock. That'll do it for news today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.